Good morning, children. So, we'll continue our revision from chapter 26, the government. In the previous video, we have revised government, forms of government, then universal adult franchise, and why do we need a government. Now, in today's video, we are going to revise the forms of government we have done earlier. Now, in this video, we have to revise the organs of government. Then, after that, anti-apartheid struggle and the key elements that influence the working of a government. So, let's get started. So, children, first we'll revise the topic, 3 forms of government. In every democratic form of government, there are 3 pillars which are very important. These 3 pillars are legislature, executive and judiciary. Now, every democratic form of government stands on these 3 pillars. So, they are very important for any democratic form of government. So, let us understand what are the functions of these 3 pillars or the organs of democratic government. First is the legislature. Legislature makes laws, means all the laws are made by the legislature. All the elected representatives make up the legislature. President of India heads the legislature. Under him is the Parliament of India. And it has 2 houses, Rajya Sabha and the Lok Sabha. Rajya Sabha is called the upper house and Lok Sabha is called the lower house. So, the legislature makes laws. Second, executive. Once the laws are made, executive is responsible to implement the laws. In India, President heads the executive. Under him is the Vice President. Then the Prime Minister is there. Under the Prime Minister, the Cabinet of Ministers are there. So, who is the constitutional head of India? That is the President. So, executive implement the laws. And the legislature makes laws. Executive implement laws. Third form of government, third organ of government is the judiciary. It has a very important role. Judiciary interpret laws and settle disputes. Children, interpret means to explain or understand the situation or the condition or to understand the problem. So, judiciary interprets law and settle disputes. It is the responsibility of the judiciary that all the laws which has been made are being followed. If anything is being done in the country which is violating the laws, then judiciary makes sure that is corrected. Judiciary is represented by the courts in the country. In India, we have Supreme Court, High Court and the District Court. These are the 3 main courts in our country. And Chief Justice is the head of judiciary in India. So, there are 3 organs of a democratic government. First is the legislature that makes laws. Second is the executive that implements laws. And third is the judiciary, and judiciary examines whether the laws are being obeyed or not. These are the 3 organs. Now our next topic is the anti-apartheid struggle. Apartheid means, children, differences on the basis of skin color or the difference between white and black people. The policy of racial discrimination is called apartheid. And this policy was there in USA and South Africa. In this policy, the non-white people were not given any jobs in the national government. They had separate educational institutions, separate public facilities, etc. Gandhiji also faced racial discrimination in South Africa. Even the black people, they have the separate roads, transport also. And all the laws were made in favor of the white people only. Gandhiji also faced racial discrimination in South Africa. He was thrown out of a train. And the reason was that he was traveling by first class, and in those days in South Africa only the white people could travel in the first class. Even the Nelson Mandela was also faced this problem, and he struggled against him. In South Africa, the anti-apartheid struggle was started by Nelson Mandela and his party, the African National Congress. For a very long time, he became president of African National Congress in 1961. He was awarded the Nobel Peace Prize in 1993 for his effort to end apartheid, means to end the differences between white and the black people. In 1994, Dr. Nelson Mandela won the elections and he became the first president of independent South Africa. So what do you mean by anti-apartheid struggle? The struggle against racial discrimination is called anti-apartheid struggle. Now, what is the importance of this? It gives freedom from racial discrimination and to increase the true spirit of democracy. Next topic is the 5 key elements that influence the working of a government. First is the participation. Participation is an important element in the working of a democratic government. People make decisions in a democracy through voting in elections. People elect their leaders to represent them. These representatives take decisions on behalf of the people. Even every citizen is free to stand as a candidate for any post. Elections provide opportunities to the people to criticize the government and to point out its weaknesses. In a democracy, the government is run according to the wishes of the people. Second is the concern for equality. It is the duty of a democratic government to provide equality to all its citizens. All citizens are equal in the eyes of a law. Law gives equal protection to all without any discrimination, without any differences. Next is the concern for justice. Justice is an important key element of a democratic government. All should be given justice. All should be equal before law. Next is the public interest. In a democratic country, nothing should be done to please or satisfy any particular individual or community. Everything should be done keeping in mind the public interest or the interest of all. Last is the dignity. If we want a person to be loyal to the country, he should be given all the opportunities to live with dignity. So these are the 5 key elements that influence the working of a government. Again, children will just repeat all these. Participation. Second is concern for equality. Third is concern for justice. Fourth is public interest. And fifth is dignity. Now children, today's homework. We'll start with the one-word answers. Policy of racial discrimination, that is apartheid. Second is name the organ of government which examines whether the laws of the government are being obeyed or not. That organ is the judiciary. Third is maintenance of order is a primary function of the executive. Which organ make laws? That is legislature. Children, apart from these one words, one more question also that you will get in the PDF file. And that is write 5 key elements that influence the working of a government. So you will write all the 5 points, all the 5 key elements. First is the participation, then concern for justice, concern for equality, public interest and dignity. So that's all for today. Keep smiling, children. Bye-bye.